Hello, ladies, gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're back in the PMDG 777-200ER. Today in the Pratt & Whitney engines. We are United 267 with service from San Francisco to Washington Dulles. We're going to be taking 310 passengers. We're going to be cruising at 39,000 feet. Cost index is 160, departing off of 28 right and arriving onto 19 left. It's going to be dark all the way there, following a real flight from San Francisco with a flight time of 4 hours and 45 minutes. So let's take this aircraft across America. So welcome into the flight deck. Let's get a little bit of lighting on first, just so we can see what we're doing. And into the overhead we'll go, get all that on. Window heat, emergency exit lights, seatbelt sign can come on now. That's the overhead panel done for the time being. We'll go FMC, auto brake to RTO. Let's get GSX loaded. So request boarding, just make sure that's going through. And boarding has been requested. We are going from KSFO. I think this is, I don't know who does this scenery. Flight Beam Studios, that's one. It's brilliant. I think it's both Flight Beam Studios sceneries here and at Washington. And we will connect the tug, yes please. So we'll get the weight and balance done as well. So we're going to be taking £80,000 over to Washington, and the passenger load we're going to be taking 384.1. And we'll load the route in now. And we'll activate execute, and we're going to be departing off 28 right today. And that will be via the Truck and 2, and then is there a, yeah, it's Tipperary, and we'll execute that. And the arrival is the ILS 19 left via the Gibbs 5 via MGW, and I can't see if there is any transition apart from that. So what we'll do is we'll just execute. I don't think there's another transition. It doesn't look like it anyway. No. Okay, so we'll just execute that. And that is the legs filled in there. We'll request some winds so the aeroplane has an updated time of arrival and stuff during the flight. And we'll load them and execute, and winds are loaded now nicely. So we'll go through the flight plan. So we'll step through this. It's a right hand turn over and vectors to final. Lovely. That's everything loaded in nicely there. It's pretty simple to set up. Let's do the performance page. So we're going to get the perf in. So 0 fuel weight, 384.1. Reserves are going to be, let me just look at the PDF here. So we need 6 for our alternate, 15 in total. Bit of quick maths. Going up to 390. And the cost index stays 160, and that is everything plugged into the performance init nicely. And we'll go thrust, and we'll have a look on the performance calculator what it is. So we're taking the Pratt & Whitneys today, so we're 19 a 28 right, sorry, import, and it's going to be telling us to do a D rate of takeoff 2 with a flex temp of 38 degrees. Takeoff, we're going to be taking flaps 5 today, and that's the trim, and it's not going to let us put the rest in until the IRSs are aligned. And there is the Pratt & Whitney engine. So we'll get the APU on just to get some conditioned air. We'll get the fuel pumps on as well and turn down the dome light a little bit, and we'll have a look outside. And that is us pretty much set up until we're ready for push and start. So what I'll do is I'll jump back in when we're ready for push. So everything's been loaded in. We are ready for push and start now. Filled in all the speeds and got everything ready for our departure. Just having a look at the taxi route. It's a bit of a long taxi, but it's pretty straightforward. We just follow the right hand turns out. We'll pressurise the hydraulics. And the packs will go off. And we'll do the checklist. So oxygen's checked. Parking brakes set. That's all green there. And we'll do all these as well. So everything's pretty much done. Just need to do the parking brake. So we'll ask GSX for pushback. And we'll need tail left. And the jet bridge is disappearing. Release the ground power. Arm all the doors. And remove the chocks. And taxiing is pretty simple. So what we can do is get the beacon light on. And that is pretty much everything set up. Checklists have been complete. Norm. So we'll go engines and go outside quickly. Everyone's cleared off. So I'll release the parking brake. I'm getting really good frames here as well. Such a big airport. So engine number 2 to start. And I can just throw the fuel in straight away. And I'll leave you with an engine view. Yeah, there's engine sounds, so just a little bit too quiet. I'm really looking forward to the updated sounds that should be coming by the end of the month. But at the moment, there's a lot to be desired still with them. I've never flown on an aircraft with the Pratt & Whitneys that are fitted to the 777, so I don't know how they sound, but I'd just assume for how big they are, the bass and the vibration noise sitting that close to the wing would be a bit more. But they're still, flyable. It doesn't really detract from the experience too much. And we've just started engine number 1 from in the flight deck, just to hear that from in here, just to see if the sounds are slightly different, because it might be to do with how I set my cameras up. I do that little glitch out the side of the plane, so at least one of the engines you can see fully, so that might have something to do with it. So it's a bit windy in Washington. Hopefully that clears a little bit. A bit cloudy and windy. Should be okay though. So they've disconnected. So we get the APU off, taxi light on. Packs should go into the auto position shortly. We'll go hydraulic page on, flaps position 5. And we'll wait for those, and then we'll just get the trim up to 6.25. So full right, neutral, left, neutral, forward, full back. Now for the rudders, full left and full right. All flight controls are free and correct. Nothing else needs to be done. We'll turn the dome light on and the packs are on now. We'll get the checklist up and everything's been checked. Recall, nothing on there. Flight controls check, ground equipment clear, flaps are 5. And there's the after takeoff checklist. So blank the low DU, release the parking brake, runway turn-offs can go on now, and we'll go first right and then we'll follow it down straight to the crossing runways for 1 left and 1 right, cross those 2 runways and then down to 28 right. Right, okay, so crossing 28 left now, onto 2 right. We'll get the lights on. A bit of a long taxi that was, that's why I split it up into a separate part, just speeding up for us guys. Otherwise we'd be here all day. Everything's ready for departure. I've just double checked the winds and the QNH. Everything's fine so far, just a bit of a stiff headwind on departure, nothing too bad. Immediate right hand turn, it's max 210 until that right turn. So we've gone LNAV VNAV. I don't think we'd even get close to 210 knots to be honest with you for that right turn. So there's 28 left and we'll go straight to 28 right. I really like the look of the Pratt & Whitneys actually, they do look really nice. Have a look outside for this one. Look at that. See. That's really nice. And the performance I'm getting as well for here is absolutely brilliant for such a big airport. Brilliant, brilliant performance. And the plane especially as well. I'll swing it round here. So we'll stop it there, hold the brakes, run on the timer, throttles to 50% if I can get them clicked into the same place, spool them up, and toga. Thrust set, speed's alive, gone through 80 knots now. V1 rotate coming up really quickly now.
V1.
V1. one. Now we're going to rotate. Keep it on the centre line. Up we go. That's a positive rate gear up. And straight on to the flight directors. Goodbye, San Francisco. Nice little view down there. Flaps one. We levelled off a little bit there. Keep pulling up. Just trying to remain on the flight directors. Flaps up. We'll go autopilot one. And we'll have a look at that wing view as we say goodbye to San Francisco International Airport. The lights look absolutely brilliant. And there's San Francisco proper. Look at that, brilliant. Looks really nice actually. There is San Francisco there. And the Golden Gate Bridge just to the left. Lovely. Look at that. So taxi light come off. Get the logo off as well now, we don't need that. Climbing through 4,000, good progress, have a look. Everything looks pretty sound. Climbing up nicely now. Looks really nice out there. It's quite calm now. I don't think it's going to be too calm when we get down to Washington. There's a bit of a storm cell flying through the area, and it looks like it's going to stay there. There's the Golden Gate there, still loaded in. Look at that, brilliant. Yeah, it looks like there's a storm cell that's going to sit right by the airport when we land. So that should be interesting. Go up to the cruise now. 390. We'll stay there for the whole flight. We'll match up the courses, or the heading, sorry, as well. And away we go nicely. That's pretty much it now. Just going to add some fixed rings in for our arrival. And I'll jump back in and I'll see you in about 4 hours when we're descending into Washington. Hello and welcome back to the flight deck. We've been in the air for just over 4 hours now, descending through 20,000 feet, just about to do the checklist. We've got the notes done. Auto brake going to set to 2, landing reference data 130 knots, and the approach briefing's pretty simple. We're going to follow this round. The restrictions get to 6,000 feet, and then we're going to follow downwind leg and cut across and venture ourselves onto final. Pretty simple. We'll try and get off at Kilo 5, back taxi. We'll go auto brake 3 just to make sure, because it is really windy. Don't want to float down the runway. Up into Delta across, and we'll pick any gate in the Delta bit, probably sort of over the left it parked. Probably Delta 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 maybe. But that's the approach briefing done. Let's have a look at the approach. What's our parking gate, sorry, and yeah, I think it parked in these ones over here, that's fine. So, like I said, that big storm cell, it's actually not over the airport, it's just to the right off the screen, as you can see. So I've been a bit lucky there, because on my paperwork that you get with sim brief, it said he was going to be a lot closer to the airport. So we get some speed brake out to help the plane slow down. Seatbelt sign is already on. Speed brake stowed, got the lights on now. Pratt and Whitney's look really nice, and he can't see much of them now, but it's nice to have 3 engine options. The reason I did this sort of like west to east coast flight in the United colours, I wanted to do a bit of a long haul with it, but it looks like the Pratt and Whitney 200s are exclusively used on high density, like transcontinental America ones. So like it would be used for this flight. Denver, a lot of them go to Denver. So the 200 G90s are sort of used for the longer flights. So looking out of San Francisco going sort of east or west, you were looking at sort of Australia, East Asia, and then over towards Europe, sort of European airports and stuff. But I thought this looked like a good flight. Show off 2 good sceneries as well. San Francisco scenery is beautiful, and the Washington scenery is really nice as well. I don't think we'll see much of it though in the dark. Maybe should have picked a different time of day, but I was just following the real world route. This late night red eye flight that lands nice and early in the morning. Just having a look now at the star. Is there a speed or altitude restriction? So it's just 250, and then Gibbs, left hand turn. 6,000 at Gibbs, and then I think it's 6,000. 6,000, sorry, and then what altitude does it want us at? Therefore, oh, we don't have that restriction. What is it? That is okay. So we come up there and round. Right, I think what I've done is I didn't put that in, so we're going to go more the MGW and then Lemu, and there you go. Okay, that's better. That is better. So it's giving us insufficient fuel now. We've got plenty of fuel. So we're going to go direct somewhere. So no, we don't want to go there because it'll send us round. What's the waypoint we want? So that one, and we'll take that up to there. We'll go execute. There you go. Perfect. So it doesn't matter that we're high. We've still got miles to go. It gets you nice and low anyway, just so you can get that cut across in a bit. That storm's disappeared now. We still maintain 240. Been there for 4 hours 32 minutes. We got, what's that, 15 minutes till we land? 13? Yeah, 13 minutes till we land. That's not too bad. And we're going to go flat 30 as well. I found that flying the 777-200, if you go flat 25, you float quite far. It's quite difficult to control really on final approach when you sort of flare in with flat 25. Well, that's the wrong word. You can control it quite easily. It just floats a bit more. But with the flat 30, it comes down, settles nice and easy. So been electing flat 30. You're coming quite slow as well with flat 30. It's sort of like 737 speed. So it's 6,000, that restriction there. So we'll go down to 7,000 at the moment, and then we'll step down to 6,000, cut across. With flat 30, or to break 3. Hopefully get off at K5, taxi into Delta. And the winds, I've just checked on my iPad, the winds that are currently there down in Washington, it's not the nicest, I can say that much. It's gusting 19 at the moment. So, probably going to have a fun arrival. Watch me sweat and work for the landing. And there is one of the runways in front of us. I don't know what runway that is. Very strange this approach is, because I did a departure out of here the other day in the 300ER to Brussels. And the departure we took off of 19 right. It's an immediate, literally 500 foot then right hand turn away from the airfield and vectors. There's a nice gust of wind. But it brings you right here at about the same altitude as well, so it's really weird how they follow traffic in for an arrival and throw departures out into the same way as well. So, downwind leg now. So we're levelling off at 7,000 now. So we click the altimeters off, and we'll leave the checklist up there. So I'm assuming now in the real world you'll be getting sort of different speeds, different altitudes, vectors, but because we're offline we'll just eyeball it a little bit. Can't see much, but there are some clouds out there. Get the logo light on just so we can see the tail a bit. Like that, beautiful. Can't see much, but it looks nice. Go down to 220 knots, just be a bit conservative here. Go down to 5,000 as well. And just go vertical speed, 500 feet per minute. And go direct to that waypoint. And LNAV will take over now. Start right hand turn onto final. So we go flat 1, just to make sure the speed's under control. That engine looks really nice now with the lights on there. Do you like Pratt & Whitney's? You know, I think in the tier list now, I don't know whether because they're new, I think it goes bottom G90s because I've overdone it with them. Pratt & Whitney's and the Rolls-Royce are still the best engines. And when we get the sound set for the Rolls-Royces, they'll be absolutely fantastic. There is a little cell on the approach here. that we're getting close to. We'll just keep descending. We're still slightly high with the glide, only half a dot. Go flat 5, try and catch it, we go 180 knots. Get a little bit of speed brake out as well. Descend a bit faster. It's not catching up with that glide at 2,000 feet per minute. We're about to hit that cell. Might get a little bit bumpy. Don't need any anti-ISAM. And there we go, we've caught it. So speed brake in. And we'll arm the speed brake. Oh, no, my throttle's being funny. Hang on. There you go, that's better. So sometimes the hardware overrides it. Flat 15, bit more drag. 3,000 is the go around, isn't it? Look. Yeah, so go around's there, 3,000. Minimums is all set, everything's nicely put in. Now we've gone through 3,000 feet, so we'll go 160 knots or 150. We'll go straight down to the flat 15 speed because we're still quite fast. Might get the gear down nice and early.
$2,500.
2,500 foot. We'll get the gear down. And that looks lovely there. I love the old United colours. The new one, the Evo blue, doesn't look the best. I like the old ones better. So speed's coming down nicely. We'll go flat 20. 130 knots is the final approach speed. We'll go, because of the weather, as it starts to rain, we'll go 140 knots for flat 30, just in case we get a bit of wind shear or something silly on final. So there's full flaps coming out now. We actually got the aeroplane stabilised quite quickly. I thought the speed was going to run away from us there, but that's quite nice. Nice views of Washington. Not very good with my American geography, but when I did a little test sector into it with the different aircraft, I thought we were going to be closer to the city centre, because I've got like a, I think, Nitrojacket design pack or something for it, and I was pretty disappointed that we didn't go anywhere near the city centre. So, oh well. There's 1,000 feet.
1,000.
Let's start thinking about disconnecting my aeroplane. Just watch the descent rate. What I found in the 200 is that the aeroplane, you need to keep pushing down, so don't be surprised. It's a bit like an Airbus with the sort of pitch. So with the wind picks up, you might have to go like 2 degrees nose down to continue your sort of 900 foot per minute descent rate. So as you can see there, look, a bit of a dirty dive we're going to have to do to keep it close to just the wind. So there you go, watching that descent right, got a bit too over the top there. Stable now, as long as we're stable before minimums. no minimums call out again, that's strange.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Well,
20.
cut the thrust, hold it there.
10.
And nicely down, maintaining centre line. Speed brake throughout reverses are green. Decelerating. And I think we have made Kilo 5. So stow the reversers, manual braking, and we'll get off here. So, that was a nice approach. Pretty good landing, if I don't say so myself. Wind wasn't as bad as I thought. Does want to float though, the 777-200 does. It really does want to float. We'll get the lights off now. And what I'll do is, because I've never been to this airport before properly, I don't really pay much attention, I'll cut this until we get to the parking stand, because I don't want to be taxiing around for half an hour again. So guys, welcome down to Washington. I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. Really enjoying flying the 777-200 by PMDG. It's a fantastic machine to fly. Two really nice sceneries as well, both by Flight Beam Studios, I believe. You can find their sceneries on the Microsoft Flight Simulator store page or on third-party pages as well. I hope you've been enjoying the 777 content so far. Still need to jump into the GE90, so I think I wanted to do some Austrian flying in the 777. So we'll see where that takes us. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. If you want any routes for me to fly, please drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very shortly in the next video.